Hello, hello, hello. If you can hear me and you can see me, Global Realty today, I want us to have a very practical conversation about something I believe every person who wants to buy property in Nigeria should understand. We are talking about what you should never ignore before putting your money into property. Then I am going to share several things with you. And while we are talking, if you have a question, drop it right there in the comment section. I will try to address as many as I can. Yeah, I'm going to address all the questions. So we're going to begin now. Don't buy property because of pressure. You see, we take time to explain to our clients, in as much as we want to make sale, it is important that you don't buy any property just because you are placed under pressure. It is important you buy a property just because you want to buy. Buy because that is your decision, not because you are put under compulsion or anyone is forcing you, anyone is mounting pressure on you, either a relative, a family, friends, or societal pressure, or even the realtor or the real estate consultant. Do not let anyone mount pressure on you before you buy. Then remember, this price is only okay. When you begin to hear things like, yeah, these are funny things. When you begin to hear these things like, this price is only available for today, and you are mandated to pay immediately, that this price is only available for today. After today, the prices are, the offers are off the table, you know. And hear stuff like, everybody is buying, pay now before the price increases. Yes, it's true that at times we need to tell you when there are bonuses or there are offers or maybe there are increments, when the company notify us as the real estate consultants that prices are likely going to increase and we are certain about the possibility. We create the awareness by letting the clients know, by letting our buyers know that this particular property, the prices is likely to increase in no time. So we are giving you those signals so you can make up your mind just in case you are having a plan to purchase this property prior to that particular time. So the urgency that will put in you shouldn't replace proper investigation. Yes, you have to investigate, even if there is urgency, even if I'm telling you that the prices are increasing. Probably there are offers. Like we have a property at Ibadan, Alpha Gardens, and on that property, if you buy an acre, you get one free plot. You see, when the price of that offer was about increasing, we did a lot of awareness, letting people know that the prices are leaving 3.5 million naira to 6 million naira. If you are making your payment now, hasten up and make the payment. Fine. It is expected that we'll create the awareness genuinely. Why? Because we really want our customers to buy. We wouldn't want you to miss the opportunity. We wouldn't want you to pay more for what you can pay less for. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do your due diligence. That doesn't replace you taking your time to verify. You understand? So a genuine property can still be investigated. That the property is genuine, the documents are genuine, the company is genuine, the consultant is genuine. That doesn't stop you from verifying. That doesn't stop you from sending your loved ones or your trusted ones to go and verify the property. That doesn't stop you from chatting the documents to know exactly if the documents are accurate, if they are up to date, if they are really, really, really legit. You would still do your findings. Okay. So don't allow excitement or pressure to make you skip due diligence. It's important that you are excited, you want to become a landowner, especially for first-time buyers. and maybe for those in diaspora, we are aware that you are excited, you want to get a property, probably you've promised your parents, your family back home, you want to build something tangible for them. The excitement should not replace due diligence. It shouldn't at all. So now, apart from all these lessons, you can still ask your questions. Remember to drop your questions whenever, as soon as you join us, just drop your questions and let us see that we're able to answer as many as we can. Remember to comment where you're watching from, like, and share. Subscribe to our channel to push this video forward, to push this video far for as many that are likely to benefit. Somebody might just be on his or her way to make a mistake, but because of the little piece of information gotten from this video, and the person will just, you can just be saving a soul, you're just saving a life, you're saving someone from being scammed, you're saving someone from putting his or money into an investment that they might later regret, by subscribing to this channel and sharing to others. So are you buying a property? Now, when we are talking about real estate, and when you want to buy a house or you want to buy a land, there are some questions that you should also have also ask yourself. Are you buying a property to live there? Are you buying to build later? Are you buying for rental income? Or are you buying for long-term investments? Look at it. When you're buying a property to live there, or you are buying a property for rental income, or you are buying a property for commercial purposes, or you are buying it for land banking, these are 4 different reasons. And you cannot approach these 4 reasons by using just one method. You cannot use the method of buying to live in for buying for a commercial purpose, or for buying to lease, or for buying for land banking. These are 4 different purposes. So you really have to plan. You need to make your plans very solid, because if you are buying a property just for because of yourself, you want to build on it, you are the one that wants to live on that place. Remember, there are documents that is compulsory that you must get. Just like developmental fee. If you are buying the property for a commercial purpose, for instance, you can decide not to pay for the developmental fees. You can pay for other fees and leave developmental fees for the person that is going to live on that property. Mind you, probably you bought the land in 2023 and now we are in 2026, and you intend to sell it in 2025 because the value have increased. Okay, there's an upward review on the value, and now you want to sell the property. If the developmental fees was 5 million naira as at when you bought, in 2026 the developmental fee might be ×2 of what you paid previously. So it is for you to decide. Do you want to save your future customer, that's the person that will be buying from you, you want to save them from the stress of paying double? So if you pay on behalf of those that will be buying the property from you, remember, you are just saving them from paying double or triple of what you would have paid when you initially bought the land. But it still boils down to your financial goals and your financial plan, your budget, what you budgeted for this particular property. So you can actually buy a land and pay for the developmental fees. And when you now resell, because you bought it for a commercial purpose, and you tell the person, currently the developmental fee is 15 million naira. But because I have paid previously, I just needed to give me 8 million naira. Remember, as at when you bought the land, the developmental fee was just 2 million naira or 3 or 5 million naira max. Now you are taking for developmental fee, you are taking extra 3 million naira. It's also another way of, getting more money to yourself. So it all depends on the understanding that you have about all this. So, but if you are buying the land to build a house that you will live in, every fee, whatsoever money that is meant to be paid, you are going to pay it. If the land does not have a CFO, probably maybe it's a CFO in view, or the documents are yet to be verified, or the government are yet to approve, you need to get all the approval. And the funniest part of this is that even if you get all the approval, remember, and you want to start developing the land, you still need to get the Lagos State government approval for building. After you've gotten approval for documentation, there are still some documents that you need. If not, every day there will be work on that site when they are trying to build your home, especially if you are building for yourself. Unlike real estate companies that handle all that stress for you, you don't know how the bricks were made, you don't know how the cement was bought, you don't know anything that happened there. You just came and the house is voila, it's ready. Yours is just to pack in and come and live in. So if you are building, you are constructing the house yourself by working with your own engineers, you need to get all the proper approvals from whatever state, whether Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, and it varies from each state. For Ibadan, Ogun State, so each government have what they expect, that the document that you expect to go and pay for, and all this costs money. So for residential, you are going to make a lot of payment. If you are buying the land for commercial purpose, after you buy you purchase the property and you get the receipt, you got the receipt and you get the deed of assignment, you might decide not to make any other payments again prior when you want to sell it, except maybe for infrastructure. For your land not to be bushy, you need to pay for maintenance because you are going to be maintaining the place. So those little money you might need to pay it. But if you are paying because if you are buying the land for land banking, you might need to put the perimeter fencing, and you might need to put a gate on it to secure it, even if it's in an estate, just to prevent it from intruder. And you can even put it on lease. You can put it on lease for people to be farming, and because you put because you fence the land, it will become more easy for those who will be renting it out. For rental purposes, it's advised that you fence the land, so you won't have issues with someone encroached into your land when you are not there because the person beats before you and you start having arguments and tussle. All those ones will be prevented. So the kind of property and location, the kind of property you are buying should depend on what location you are choosing. So if you are buying a particular property, you are buying for a particular purpose, that should determine the location you are choosing. You don't just choose location just because you want to choose location or because everybody is going there. You hear that it's not happening in Ekpe. The Lagos, the today's island is now Ibejuleki. Everything is happening around there. You won't just go just because everybody is going to Lekki. Do you know Lekki? Do you know the interiors of Lekki? Have you been there? Do you know the places that are flooded? Are you aware that with all the floods that happen at Lagos Island, there are some persons that never got affected? When I say never, never doesn't mean that water wasn't really there, but the water that came within that environment and within a short period of time, the water is gone. Because even in mainland, people still experience erosion, and this drainage system or water disaster happened eventually in different countries and different states. So it's not peculiar to a particular location. It's just that it's more in some places than some other places. But if you do your due diligence, you're able to avoid a lot of natural waste. You won't just get yourself into things that you do not expect. So now we are going back to, we'll still be continuing our topic today. Our topic today, we did episode 1, episode 2, and today we'll be continuing with episode 3. So I'll talk about accessibility before, road surrounding development, schools. So when you are buying a property, you should consider the road that's leading, not just where the property is located. You should also consider the property, the road that leads to where the property is. And you should also consider the surrounding of where your property is located. That is very or will you want them to attend schools closer to the house? That should determine the kind of environment you are choosing, and that should also determine what you should look out for. Are there markets within that place? Do you need to go far before you can get to buy whatever you want to buy? Do you need to travel a long distance before you can get some certain things? Do you need is your land a commercial property, and do you need a place, a certain area that is commercialized, that you have a lot of industries? have a lot of industries around there that can thrive. That can, if you having a lot of industry there helps you to boost your own personal business. It helps to boost your own personal business, and if you intend going into business, it will be a very good place for you to invest in. So we still have a topic that we've not completed, which we are doing the episode 3. So we are still going to continue today before we round up this live session. Okay, we are going to continue. If you are just joining, thank you for joining, and remember to comment, remember to subscribe, remember to drop your location where you are joining from. And if you have any questions, don't forget to type your question, and I'll take as many questions as I can take. And if you want to reach us at PJ Global Realty, you are going to remember to contact +234 7037492941. Some of the things you should consider as well includes hospital transportation. You see, our health is very important, and there are times that we're trying to get across to where hospitals are because of the distance, and some persons lost their lives. So you should consider those things as well. Consider hospitals that are within that place. Then the infrastructure around there is also very important. Don't only inspect the property, like as I said, inspect the environment. So documentation and verification. This is like a very important aspect in real estate. Documentation and verification. It doesn't matter how much you paid for a land. If you do not have the right document with, if both of us are having particular property and we both go to the government or take it to the court, the person with the right property will be the definite owner that the property will be handed over to. So you must have documentation, and you verify by making sure that the documents you are holding are real, are originals, because there are some documents that might be given to some persons. So I've heard cases of people get documents they have, or maybe when they went to where the document is being processed, and when they got there, they're trying to get to the office. They told them that to get this particular property, you're paying 5 million naira, paying 10 million naira. And the person is like, why is the property why is the documentation fee so expensive? And that person called the person to the corner and let the person know that, you see, actually this document is 10 million naira, but I know someone at somewhere that can help you do it, and with 4.5 million naira you get this document. And when you accept to that and you pay that person 4.5 million naira to get a document that should go for 10 million naira, you might end up getting a fake document, and you wouldn't even suspect, not until when something happens. So what document covers it is very important, and verify what exactly is being sold. Are there additional charges? I've said this yesterday. Okay, so can the information be independently verified? Even when you are told about some certain things, check if you can independently verify the, include your legal, use your legal means to verify, consult your lawyer, and let the claims be certain and let it be authentic. So just when you get the proper documentation and you use a professional to verify, and you get the right advice before you make payments, that will be lovely. So you compare. So continue by, I'm telling you now that don't compare only prices. Don't just compare prices. Someone will tell you that this property is 5 million naira, and another person will tell you the property is 10 million naira. So one is cheaper, but the cheaper doesn't automatically means better. Compare things like location, accessibility, documentation, infrastructure, purpose, overall cost. You can tell which you should go for. You have to compare. Don't just conclude. Just because the property is sold for 10 million naira and that person is selling for 5 million naira, and you quickly go and pay for the one of 5 million naira, and you just make payment, and you feel that this person just saved me other costs. You might get to the place and you have other money that you need to pay for, and those money that you need to pay for, at the end of the day, you might 10 million naira that you initially charge. So Now we are back to episode 3. Remember we did episode 1 and episode 2. So I want you to share this video. Our real estate class episode 3 is a series that we have been doing. We've been doing this series because I want us to understand property beyond simply seeing a beautiful house or hearing a price. So now today, welcome to episode 3. Land or house, which should you buy first? Which one should you buy first? After, so if you found this useful, don't leave yet without subscribing to PJ Global Realty. And I will continue bringing you practical property education, site inspections, and natural property opportunities. And if you are considering buying property, don't rush. Ask questions, verify information, understand your goal, and make an informed decision. If you have money to invest in real estate, should you buy land first or should you buy a house? Let me help you think about it. There is no single answer that is right for everybody. The right choice depends on your financial situation and your goal. First, consider your purpose. If you need a home to live in, buying or building a house may make more sense for you. But if your goal is long-term investment and you are not ready to build immediately, land may be an option worth considering. Secondly, consider your budget. Don't stretch yourself beyond what you can comfortably afford just because you want to own a property. Look at the total cost, not just the initial payment. Then thirdly, consider your timeline. Do you need a property now or are you planning for the future? A person who needs accommodation immediately has a different need from someone planning a long-term investment. These are two different things. Fourthly, think about the location. Whether you are buying a land or a completed property, location still matters. Look at accessibility, infrastructure, surrounding, development, and the demand in the area. 5. Know your responsibility. Buying land doesn't mean your work is finished. You may still have costs associated with documentation, developmental fee, building and infrastructure, just like as I said before. And when you are buying a house, you also need to consider maintenance and other ongoing costs, like as I said before. So don't ask me which one is better, land or house. Ask yourself, what is my goal? What can I afford? And what timeline am I working with? That's how you begin to make a property decision that makes sense for you. I remain Pazina, the CEO of PJ Global Rating. This is Real Estate Class Episode 3. Remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Bye.